What about anything, you want to say anything in Portuguese to people overseas? You can look into the camera there and say something. You don't have to, but
Say something. Okay, so wellness, we have three poses: front pose, side, and back. Front pose, basically, all the weight is on your dominant leg. Mine is the right, but it can be left. You're gonna work with your coach to see which one your body feels like more comfortable with, or which one is your dominant side. So if all the weight is here, we're basically just gonna touch the ground with this feet. Important, do not let your weight there. So if someone comes and take it out this leg, it's fine because everything is here. That way you have more quads. And when you just touch the ground, do a little pump on this glute, and then we have the wellness curves.
Pamela, we're sitting here talking in the studio. Thank you so much for being here. Before we start, I want to go to this video, Branch Warren talking to you. Let's throw to that right now.
I'm here with someone I've known for quite a long time, Pam Nieto, our wellness overall winner. She trains at Destination Dallas. So let me tell you about Pam. She's the sunshine in the whole gym. So I'm going to tell you right now, and I've said it before, the world needs more Pams.
What do you think about this moment? This meant a lot to you?
Yeah, I think you can see by my face. So I work like a destination, and I work there and I also work out there. So I kind of see Branch like every other day. And I don't even need to say how important it is like Branch Warren, like itself. But more than that, not just what he represents for the sport, I feel like close, like I could ask like I could say a relationship. I don't know, because the way that they treat me at the gym, especially because I don't feel that they're like, oh my gosh, untouchable. They're like referees, but they are also like home. They're like family, because here is just me and my husband. And I am the way that I am with you, with like him, or with whoever like cross my way. That's the way that I am. So I feel comfortable being myself, surround them. And then I remember like the first time that he said that, like the world need more PAMS. I remember that I told my husband, like, babe, he said that. And just him and Trish, they're like, as I say, they feel like home. So when they say that, it means like so much. It's like so heavy, like on a good way for my heart, that I was like, okay, I show who I am, and showing who I am, like who I truly am, not like an athlete, not someone who wants to be like the best. No, I'm just the Pam. I'm Pam who's gonna like be me. And if the world needs more people with that, like just like me, it's just like, it's unbelievable. So I feel really happy.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm pretty introverted, and I struggle talking to people. How do you stay so genuine?
I don't think there's a secret, to be honest. As you say, that's the way you are. So even that, I'm sure there's some people that you're comfortable with. So if you sit, it doesn't matter what the people say or do. If you're comfortable enough, you're going to talk. So sometimes you talk more, sometimes less. I just feel, I talk a lot. But I feel like when I'm surrounded to someone that I feel they're like shy or something, my first reaction is just like, how can I make him comfortable? Because for me, as I say, at first here, I didn't speak any English. So it was really uncomfortable for me to be surrounded by people, because I couldn't talk. And in my language, I could say like my trick is talking. So in my country, I had like a lot of friends because I talk a lot. So I was always surrounded by people. And then here, I just kind of lost my weapon because I couldn't talk. So at first, I kind of like got a bit depression. My first month here was really hard because I couldn't talk to people. So I was even homesick, and I have never feel like homesick because I left my home when I was like 18 to a college in another state of my country. So of course, I miss my family. I love them, but I was pretty much independent since my teenager. So then when I start to feel like, okay, I need I need people. And I was like, it's not like I miss my home. I miss people. I miss talk to people. And I remember that feeling of I wasn't comfortable. So if someone come talk to me, I didn't want you because I feel like shy. So now when I feel like someone is kind of like that way, I just try to, okay, how can I make you comfortable surround me? And I don't feel there's a secret. It's just kind of like be yourself. Like, hey, I'm here. I know you're shy, but I also have my hard part is not talking. So let me show you that I'm also have my, not everything is easy. So I don't know if there's a secret, but I just try to be myself. I don't know.
Maybe a lot of it comes from your mother.
Yes. Yes. My mother is like me twice. But she's like kind of like exaggerated. She's a lion. So I'm like her smaller version.
I was telling you earlier, there's a video of you I was watching on YouTube. It's Digging Deep is the title. Let's show a screenshot of that. This is a fantastic video. And the reason why I bring it up is because it's a good example online to show how intense you're lifting in the gym. I don't know quite what the question is, but I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I feel after this video, I think it was like almost 2 years ago. And I remember I had started my prep like 2 weeks when I was 2 weeks on prep, and then they want to record a video. So I remember like since day one, when I do something, I do because I want to. So if you want to do something really bad, you do your best. And of course, we are all humans. There's some days that we don't feel up to, like, hey, I don't feel like lifting today. I don't feel like go to the gym. But like when you're an athlete, you go by discipline. But most of the days you have to love that, to do like with the passion. And especially like with this word, I really like it. And now it's funny that you bring it up because now I need to watch again like the whole video because I am sure like I do with even more intensity because now I see. I always say like there's phase. So when you compete for the first time, and even if you win for a first place or last place, you know, I always tell like our friends and clients, when you step on the stage for the first time, you know if you want to do this for the rest of your life or never and again. It's never like, let me see just one more time. No, because you know that was just the cherry. So you bake the cake. How was bake the cake? It's not just the cherry. So you take all the process and then you decide. And then after that one, I was like, no, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So then I put my whole heart because for the first time, even though that I like it, I didn't know how it would feel. I didn't know if it was like my passion, my future, my whatever. And now I feel that's my life. I mean, of course, I don't live just for that. I have my husband, I have my family, I have God, I have everything, but that's like at least half of my life. That's what I do every day. So if you do something every day, why not put yourself in there? So now when you see me at the gym, the guys even have like a joke that there's one day they thought I was Branch screaming and it was Pam. I was like, no, that's just Pam. So not just by the weight, because of course I increased the weight with the time, but now I feel that I have even more like intensity. So that's good. I'm gonna try to do another video to see the difference on off season. Not now because now I'm dying.
You've always been athletic since you were a kid, or?
No, I was chubby. I am still, especially in off season. No, like my you mean my body shape or like my life in general?
Both.
Okay, so my shape, I could say, not a bad way, but I have always been like chubby. Like I was never like a skinny kid. Maybe when I was like 5, 6 years old, I was like skinny. But then it's just like my body. I have always been like a kind of a little fat. But like, but I have never complained about my body. I was like I don't remember like one time in my life that I feel, oh my gosh, I was feeling fat. Even though now when I see pictures, like, holy mother, I was fat. But I remember like, I was like, I'm fine. About sports, I have always been involved, not on the gym. I hated the gym. I hate on the past. So since kid, like since 4, 5, I think I start dance when I was like 5 years old, 4, something like that. And dance was my passion for years. So I did like jazz, ballet. In Brazil, we have a dance that is like axé, which is more like a Zumba. And then when I was 11, I started to do rhythmic gymnastics. And then I compete for my city for like 2 months or so. And it was like intense training. So it was like every day, 3 hours. But then I start my high school, and then I couldn't do both, so I kind of like stopped. I did like handball, volleyball, but I suck. I was the last one to be picked. I was terrible. I just like to be involved. So I think like dance for most of my life. And then I did my college in Brazil was kind of like to be a personal trainer, but not at the gym. It was like to be a teacher for kids at school. So I have always been like doing internships in school, like I did with school, with kids, with old people, everyone about sports or like just activities. And that was like my degree in Brazil. But I think I more like with kids. I have always worked like with kids, but like with not gym, but like sports. But gym, I hate it. And then when I moved here, because in Brazil, kind of like personal trainer is like free. So like you go to the gym and there's like some people who can help you. So I just went to Brazil there because I just, whatever, just tell me what to do, and I did it. But I never followed a diet. I hate it. I was like, I will never do that. And then when I moved here, I saw that
What year did you move here?
Why?
What year? When?
Was 5 years ago. So 20, to the math. I'm on
2018.
Yes, this. And then when I moved here, that I knew that that I saw that I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, that was my degree and I have no idea. And then I was like, okay, but even though I still didn't do like a lot, so when I started to date him, we did the same university in Brazil. I remember that I started to date him, and his family, he has been a coach like for a long time. And I remember I went to Brazil, and it was his dad's dinner, like a birthday, and there was a lot of Brazilian food, and I eat really good. Like I eat a lot. So I remember I was like home. Imagine me like a year from Brazil, and I was there eating like hot dogs, little hamburgers, like everything that you can think, like desserts. And then his cousin just looked at me. She was like, "So do you follow a diet?" And I was like, "Me? No." And she was like, and he doesn't get mad, and all the family suddenly just stop and look at me to see, because I think everyone was like surprised by how much did I eat. And I was like, well, if he's going to be mad at me, that's his problem, because I'm never going to follow diet. And then get the pizza and I eat. And he was like, no, it's fine. And then when I start to see like his clients' results, and that they still could have like I love carbs. I was like, because diet for me always seems like you can never have carbs. You're going to starving. And I love eat. So I was like, no, that's not for me. But then when I start to see that, no, you can still have carbs. You can still have like your bread, your rice and everything. I was like, okay, let's see. And then I start to work out and then to follow a diet. But like I had everything that I like it. And then my body changed like in 3 months, but like for good. And then everyone started to see like, oh my gosh, what did you do? I was like, he did it. I don't know. I'm still eating like whatever. I just now see how much can I eat. And then I remember after the first show is when it changed. And then is when I become an athlete, because all my life have been in sports, but I was never like an athlete. So I feel that just after compete, I don't know.
How has your body changed over the years since that first show?
I think a lot. And I can send you a picture if you want to show. But it's funny because
just more maturity, more density.
Yeah, I still work on the maturity and on the density, because as I told you, I just started to work out on my life 3 years ago. 3 years ago. So maturity and density, it's better like every time that I do a prep, it becomes like a bit better, of course. But maturity, especially when I see, and I'm not being hard to myself. I'm just being realistic. When I see myself with another competitors, especially the masters, I see how far I am for the maturity that they have, because they have been working on that for over 10 years and over like 15, 14, I don't know, especially wellness, like those masters wellness, they're not, they probably compete before on bikini or even figure, because wellness just started here like 4 years ago. And to be a wellness master, they have been competing in another categories before. So when I look at them, that's what I see. Like, I don't see myself as a pro, because I look at them as like, holy mother, she's so far away from me that I have like years to get there. But at the same point, being realistic, I know I also have like the wellness lines with this, which is something that we always say, like condition and volume. So with the volume, we're like getting better. Size, yes.
Size, volume.
Yes. So the size, we finally are getting there, because I was too small. Condition, we always bring the condition, and the line, it's me. So I feel every year I'm getting like there, more maturity. But I think we can say like the most change of my body, again, I was like really a bit fat, and then we kind of like, we get me like lean. So I had zero muscles because I didn't work out. And then we start like an off season, and then one prep, and then another off season. And now we can actually see the curves, like the wellness curves, like the glutes, the quads. I have always been like big legs, but it was fat. And then when we lean, it was like nothing. And now we can, okay, so the legs is like muscles. The glutes, now we can see the intersections, like the glutes and the hammies. And then I feel like with time, because this is a sport that it takes time. So I'm fine. I know it's going to take like years, but I'm not just sitting around. I'm like patient, but I'm also doing the work. So I feel we can say that the most difference, like now we see the lines. So even on off season, you see that, oh no, she works. She does something there. I hope so.
I want to ask you if Americans are ever going to catch up with the Brazilians in wellness, but we've reached the 20-minute mark. This is Pamela posing. We actually pre-recorded this. Let's go to that right now.
Okay, and about the presence on the stage. We know as an amateur we have 20 seconds to show our best. That's not time enough. We know that is kind of like short, but also for some people it's like too long. So no matter what, I always give this tip: be yourself and do not rush. So there's just one rule for wellness: we have to show the front, side, and the back. We don't need to show both sides. The rule is just the side. So if the time is too short for you, pick your best side, show the front pose, the side, and the back, and that's it. Good enough. If the time is too long for you, do your quarter turn, it's fine. But don't let your anxious or don't be nervous and show this, because our body show, like what are we feeling? We can show by that. So as soon as you step on the stage, you have to show them that you're ready. It doesn't matter if you don't think you're ready, like, wow, I don't know if my shape is gonna win. You have to pretend that you think you're gonna win. Because when you show this confidence for the judge, they also think that you're gonna win. And also you can, you don't know. So don't let your, if you're nervous, don't show this. So practice like a lot of time before, because you're not gonna get there and get ready. So when you practice like every day, like for a long time, your body already know what you do. So even if you're nervous, you're just gonna follow what you do every day. So start before, don't rush, take your 20 seconds and make the best with the best you have.
Pamela, thank you so much. Americans, Brazilians. Americans ever going to catch up with Brazil in wellness?
I think they're already doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really true. Me and my husband, we always talking about it, like, because I don't know if everyone knows, but wellness is, it was born in Brazil. So it's a Brazilian category. And it first come here, and I feel that most of the, not most, but like a lot of Americans was kind of like confused by, okay, what is wellness? It's bigger than bikini and smaller than figure. No, that's not that. Wellness is more like our lower body dominant, of course, but more like legs and glutes. But we always say, like, you don't pick the category. You're not like a bikini that want to grow and go for wellness. So the category picks you. And there's a lot of Americans there has like dominant lower body, and that's it. Like, that's what I say about the lines. So then at first I thought there was a lot of confusion by that. So it's like, no, the Americans still have a lot to grow, like a lot to learn. And but I'm telling you, they're learning. And even if you see like now the not even just the Olympians, because I know it's hard to just step on the Olympia stage, but if you see like the pros, there's a lot of Americans on top 3, top 5. And not just America, like, because Latinas in general, like, we see that, oh, it's easier for them because they have the genetics. So for us, it's easier to grow like lower body. But I don't feel especially specific for Latinas. I feel for the women who has like lower body. And then it took a while, but now the Americans are like almost there. I am Brazilian, so I'm always gonna root for my country. But I feel now it's like that close.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I'm actually not too familiar with the person who is who won wellness at the Olympia.
Franciele Matos.
I've seen her face. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the amazing video of her on the Olympia.
Yeah,
but
she is.
she is from Brazil.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So she.
What do you think about her?
I don't. She's amazing. She is. I never like spoke. I mean, I spoke to her actually on Republic of Texas for the first time, but not say about the person, because I just talk a little with her. But she seems like really sweet. But talking about like the athlete itself, she is a perfect example of how you can do something when you want to, like when you put like work on it. So she has been working out for her whole life, like since, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. But and this is what she say on a lot of interviews that I've watched. So her coach once told her, like, hey, why don't you compete? She's like, no, this athlete life is not for me. I'm a mom, like I have 2 kids, I'm married. And he's like, you already do like what all the athletes does, like you work harder, you do the diet. She's like, no, but I do this because I like it. And he's like, but that's what the sport needs. So he bring her for her first show. She was over 35, mom of 2, married, and she won. And no, she got second, right, babe? Yeah, she got second because it was another federation. And then she works. I think she competed like 2 or 3 times on this federation, and she always got second. I don't know if you know Angela Borges. She's another big name in wellness in Brazil. And Angela Borges, she competed like for 47 times, if I'm not wrong, and she never lost. So she was like the number 1. So Franciele just lost for her like twice or 3, I don't know. And then she went to NPC because her body was more like NPC. And then she went to the NPC, and the first show she won. And she was like, okay, so that's my place. And since then, she has been like competing, of course. And even that I told you, like, the wellness category come to America like 4 years ago. I think 4 or 5. I think 4. I think 4. It was not on the Olympia yet. So for the first time, it was on Olympia 2 years ago. Like, so 2 Olympics ago was the first time that they had a wellness. And for all the wellness, I think top 5, top 10, 6 was Brazilian. And she won the first place. The first, second, and third place was Brazilian. I think just not the 4. The 5 was Brazilian. Anyways, in her presence, I don't know if you watch her, like you saw that you see her face, see her posing, see her on the stage. There is no way, like, you compete on a category and you don't look at her as like your idol. I mean, you give me canvas just to remember. She has something on the stage that once she stepped there, you cannot stop looking at her. Like no matter what happened, like no matter what she does, if she fell off, you keep looking at her. She has this way, like I'm not even talking about her shape because it's like it's perfect. I see like nothing to improve there. Of course, there's always something to improve, but I see her like as literally the number one. But I feel like her pose, like the way that she conquers you when she steps on the stage. And then it was the Olympia again, and she also got the title like for 2 times. So Wellness on Olympia was just 2 times, and she got the 2 times. And I'm thinking she's gonna get again.
When we go to thank you, that's an excellent way of explaining that. When we go to the NPC shows, of course, the bikini division is the most popular one, but the division with the most people on the women's side. But maybe on the Instagrams, wellness is the most popular.
Yes, and I feel because I love bikini. Like my sister-in-law is bikini. A lot of our clients is bikini. I love bikini. I feel like when a opposing client look at me and they like reach out to me in their bikini, I was like, oh, I love to do like a bikini routine because I feel bikini is so like soft. They are so like a Barbie, and I feel I love it. I love to watch. And wellness is, on the other hand, wellness is more fierce. It's more woman. So if like I can talk about me, if I see I am a 30 years old woman, if I see like a Barbie and a fierce, I want to be the fierce. And again, speaking by me, on my country, we like curves, we like big, we like glutes, we like legs. So what I'm gonna look on Instagram, something like that. So if I look at bikini, as I say, I love bikini, but I was like, that's not for me. And I also feel, and you were saying that because you were American. So here, bikini is more famous on NPC, but in Brazil, wellness is more famous, even on the shows or Instagram. And because it's our culture. And I feel also because bikini, it's here for a long time. So now that wellness is, even that is more famous now, is they're starting to see wellness. You're going to see like a huge change because most of the girls like who approach me, they're like, hey, girl, look at your legs. Like, what did you do to get there? Nobody look at a skinny girl like, hey, you're so skinny. What you do to be skinny? I was like, no. But I don't feel bikinis are skinny. That's like another old thought. Like, as I say, my sister-in-law, she's a bikini. She's like this. And she lift heavier than me. And I say heavier like by weights, like way heavier, because she has been doing this since she was like 14 years old. So they do have muscles, but it's the bikini lines. They have to be muscles, but be like smaller. So me, it doesn't matter what I do. I'm not going to lose that because that's my body. So if I want to try to fit on bikini, I'll be like that. So I feel maybe wellness is going to be also famous on stage soon.
I love how we're talking so much about Brazil. Let's keep the Brazil talk going. A close friend of mine is Natalia, Miss Women's Physique Olympia.
Yes.
What do you think about her?
Well, as I told you, I never spoke to her. She seems like really sweet. I think like her story, it's a lot like Brazilians, because we have a phrase. I don't know if it's gonna make sense when I translate, but it's like Brazilians never give up. Like, nah, I'm Brazilian. I never give up. No, I'm Brazilian. That's what I do. I never give up, no matter what. And I feel like, especially you're her closest friend, so maybe you know better than me, but she has been trying to win the Olympia for a long time. And she was like almost there, but she never stopped. She never gave up. She never was like, well, and always you could do like, I'm always second, so am I gonna be good enough? Let me take a break. Let me just like live my life. That's her life. So that's what she does. Why would she give up on her life? And then I remember like we was there in the last Olympia when she won, and she said she told him, was like, the very only thing that I want this night was to hear you saying like, in the new Olympia is, and then when he said the new Olympia, she knew was her. And then she was like, that's what I was working for. And I feel that this represents Brazil like a lot, because we don't give up. Like a lot of parts in Brazil is like poor. I'm gonna cry. And I feel there's no better way to describe a Brazilian than like we don't give up. Like no matter what, no matter how long it takes, like no matter how hard it is, no matter like where you come from. Like I also come from like for a really poor childhood, and but we don't give up. So it's hard. It is. It takes time. It does. It's always possible. Yeah, you're gonna get second a lot, but what do? Nothing. You keep doing the work and you don't give up. So I could feel that by what she was saying, like, that's what I work for. And she didn't say, like, I work for win to be the best. No, I just work for today here. Like, today, you were the champion. So I feel that's, again, I never spoke to her, but I feel that's a really, really great way to represent your country.
I cannot wait to show her this video. That's going to be really cool. You guys are headed back to Brazil in like a week. What are you guys going to be doing?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So actually, my husband is not going this time because he has a few clients here competing, so he has to stay. To be honest, was not the best time for me to go right now, but I'm gonna be a bridesmaid for my best friend. Yes. So I'm going Sunday, and then I'm gonna be her bridesmaid on Saturday, and I'm gonna literally just stay for 2 weeks because after that we have like a lot of stuff's going on with like on Destination Better Bodies, and I have to be here. It's gonna be the anniversary, so I literally just gonna see my family, go to her wedding, eat a lot of Brazilian food because I need it, and that's it. Yeah, we usually go like once a year. So this year the plan was to go just in December, but I'm going to the wedding, but it's literally just gonna be for 2 weeks to visit my family. As last year we didn't go as well, so I think it's gonna be like 2 years and a half that I don't go there.
I think if I've had Brazilian food before, is it spicy or
no? People think that Brazilian food is spicy. No, because Spanish food like is spicy, but we use for season everything is like garlic, onion, and salt. But if you think like so you never had Brazilian food before, because if you did, you wouldn't forget.
I don't think so.
So our most like
I'm
famous food.
I'm half Persian. I'm a quarter Japanese.
Oh my gosh!
And a quarter something else.
Yeah, like our everyday food is like rice, beans, and steak or chicken. But we have like the coxinha, which is like how do I explain coxinha?
Coxinha.
It's like it's like a pastry. Pastry is like a with chicken inside, and it's like fried. It's crispy.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain.
I think I saw a picture of it.
Yeah, it's like
Instagram.
crispy. It seems like a drop, and it's like a potato, like it's potato stuffed with chicken and crispy, like and I was cream cheese inside. That's really good. And we have the feijoada, which is like black beans with a lot of different meats. And then we eat like with rice. And then we have the sweets. Brigadeiro, he's the most famous. It's like a truffle. It's like a chocolate truffle. It's literally like condensed milk, butter, and chocolate. And then you do like little balls, and then you just had like sprinkles. That's my favorite dessert in the world. Like, and you can do a lot. So good, so good. I'm gonna make you for next time. You're gonna love it.
We're shooting this in Dallas right now. Are there any authentic Brazilian restaurants here?
Yeah. So it's actually really nearby here. There's the Latino Brazilian market. Is like this is the biggest one. Is like it is a market. Is a grocery, but also they have like the kitchen, so you can eat like, and there's a buffet, like a buffet for food, and they have like everything that I'm telling you, and they have even more. So you can eat there, and you can also like get like groceries. And in Plano, there's another one, Kiosk Brazil, also really good. A bit smaller, but also really good. And they are both here. In Austin, they have like a food truck that they have more like the feijoada that I told you. Because I remember like we went there for a show, and there's this food truck. But funny fact, like here, the Brazilian community, it's really big. So like there's this group on Facebook, like Brazilians in Dallas, and there's always like people baking like those stuff. Like, hey guys, this weekend I'm gonna be do like the feijoada, so it's like $10. If you want, just reach me out. So you always can find like those food with people like Brazilians that lives here. Yeah, I usually do. I'm more like sweet, so I cook like I love cooking is my love language. And also in prep, it's funny because people are like, how you don't eat that? Like, how can you do this on prep? I was like, well, I don't even crave. I mean, I don't even lick my fingers. It's just like because I love to cook. So I feel like when like someone eats my food and they like it, for me is like the better way to show you that I love you. So I was like, well, I'm on prep, but I still love people, so I need to show them that. So I keep like cooking, but more like desserts. But you can easily find like here on the Brazilian Latino market.
I am the worst cook in the world. Let's go to this third final time posing. Pamela, thank you for doing this, and we'll come right back here.
Okay, still talking about the presence on the stage, very, very important, especially for the first time on the stage. As soon as you're stepping on the stage, look to the judges. I know probably you're gonna have family there screaming as crazy because they're exciting. Maybe your coach is gonna be there giving you some tips. Hey, change the hair, don't lay on whatever. You can listen to them, but you never take it off your eyes for the judge. So sometimes we see on the stage girls like looking something, like you look over the judge or like looking over there. No, look to them all the time. Do I have to smile? Do I have to do a sexy face? Do you? So I am a person who needs to smile. So I smile, not all the time because I don't force. When I feel, I smile. When I don't feel, I don't. So this is pretty much easy. Be you. If you feel like more confident with like a sexy face, do your sexy face. But it's really important to smile at some point, because you gotta show them that you're like enjoying this time, that you're happy. You're like, okay, that's what I'm bringing you. How you feel, because I'm feel happy. So you have to show them that. And even when there's another competitor on the stage, like when you go to the side, always look to the judge, because sometimes they're like looking to the girl, but maybe they're between her and you, and then they was like look at her, oh, let me see the number 10, and then they look at you and you're like this, or look like whatever. Always stay on your pose and always look into them, because if they look at you, okay, that's the girl. So that's what I was looking at. And the comparisons, like when they do the line with all the girls, again, look to the judge. Do the quarter turn. If they ask like to round girls, it's fine. But no matter what, I'm walking. So you don't have like to walk like this, but like walking, take your place, do your pose, and look to them. And sometimes it's fine to look down. So even, especially if you're gonna like change with someone, it's fine to look down, but do never stay like this or like looking for someone. Always look to the judge. It's up to them to decide, but if you do your part, you can maybe like help them a little bit. Okay.
We're joined by Neto. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Neto.
Yeah, I was there.
The coach and you being her coach and y'all's relationship. Explain that. Elaborate, please.
Go ahead, babe.
Now your turn. We have both sides, so let me start.
Okay. It's good and bad at the same time, but I think it's more good than bad, because when we win like as a coach and as a husband, so it's really good. But we have like our ups and downs during the week, because it's hard. Sometimes I ask her to do something, and she's like feminist, and she thinks, oh, I have to follow a male order. But it's like it's her coach. I'm not like being the husband asking to drink water. And that's where we like fight the most. But it's really good because we are growing together. Like since 3 years, 4 years ago, we like working together and chasing our dreams, because now her dream is my dream as a coach and as a husband. So it's really good to chase these dreams together.
Yeah.
But we fight a lot.
So as he say, there's the bad and the good part. I feel
And lean forward just a little.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I feel like we always tell like my first prep was the hardest one, because like people, as I told you, my body started to change and people was like, well, you're gonna compete. I was like, I don't know. And then one day he asked me like, do you want to compete? And I was like, well, when you feel that I'm ready, and if you feel, let's do it. And there was this like, okay, he was going to Brazil in 8 weeks, and there was in 9 weeks, and there was a show in 8 weeks. It's like, okay, let's do it. Guys, don't do that. Never do a prep, like less than 12 weeks. I don't know, especially the first one. And as he said, like I am more like I talk a lot, as you could say. So I had I never did a prep before. So everything was new for me, everything. So, and I can explain how I'm feeling for you with every single detail. And he was, one, he already compete. 2, he is a quiet person. So even on prep, even if he's feeling like a lot, he'll be more quiet. That's it. We could stay like for 2 days without talking when he's on prep. And I have this way to explain exactly how I'm feeling. So it was kind of like hard. And now I see, I was hard for him, because it seems like I was complaining every day, all the time about everything. And I was, but that's me. And we always have this understanding that not even just on competing, like Neto as a coach, not just for me, for all the team. He always say, I'm your coach, not your cheerleader. So don't expect for like, hey, you're looking great. Hey, you're amazing. Let's do it. He's like, no, I'm here like to help you, to make you get there, but I'm not your cheerleader. So if you want like compliments, go talk to your husband, to your friends, whatever. But on my case, my coach was also my husband. So at first it was really hard for me to, like, I was expecting as a wife compliment, but at the same time, I was his athlete. So I say that my first prep was really hard, and we learn a lot. Every prep is different. We say it never gets like easier, but we get better. So now I can say that we're like much better like dealing. I learned how to deal with him. He also learned how to deal with me. And sometimes we just like, you know what? It's just prep. Tomorrow's going to be better. So
let's wait until tomorrow.
Yes. And as you say, I'm not like feminist. It's just, I am, as I told you, I am independent since I was 16 years old. So all my life, I did everything for me. So I work for myself. I work for everything. So I learned how to make decisions for me. So it was hard for me to give to someone, hey, this is my life. What do you want me to do? So you're going to do that. So no, hold on. I want to be part of this. I want to give my opinion. But again, now we learn, I learned better, because I know it was my fault, to understand when is my coach asking me or when is my husband. Of course, I do my face, but now I do what he says. But again, there's some days, some ups and downs. It doesn't matter like which phase, which prep. There's always the good and the bad part. And as he said, now that's our dreams. So like even when he's competing, I feel even more like I'm really calm. I'm never like stressed on backstage. I literally just sleep. He gets nervous, but when he goes on the stage, I feel like even more like, holy mother, there's more like even excited. So when I step out of the stage, he always wait on me like for a hug, like we did it. And I feel he's one more step close to our dreams, like our life together. And I always pray to God, like, that's what I want. Like my family, like me and him, our dreams. So it doesn't matter the placing. That's the relationship that I want to feel like, okay, we did it together. It's not me, it's not him. We did it together. Both of us. So bad and good.
Y'all met here in the States for the first time, or y'all met overseas?
In Brazil, like 6 years ago.
Yeah. It was funny because we did the same university, so we met each other like same course and everything. But he had a girlfriend and I have a boyfriend back there, so we literally like, hey, that's it. And then I moved here when I finished my university, but we still we follow each other on social media. And then one day I think I saw that he was single, and I was single as well. And now I was like, oh, so this black.
I posted a picture without shirt, and she started liking like 10 pictures.
You never said it was a.
Yes.
I don't remember that. It can be true, but I don't remember. And then he started a conversation, so we started talking. And that I was supposed to go back to Brazil like after my first year here, because I just come for a student exchange program. But then, and then we are kind of like flirting. So I was like, okay, I'm coming back in 3 months. But then I decided to extend for 1 more year. So I was like, hey, not going. So I kind of like stopped talking. And then he got another girlfriend and I got another boyfriend. So it was like 2 years after that, we both broke up again.
Almost in the same time.
Almost at the same time.
Yeah.
But I was like broke heart because my ex-boyfriend cheated on me. So I was like, every man is the same. I hate all of them. And then I went to Brazil like exactly the same week. And he was the first person that I saw with his girlfriend. But he was just crossed the street with her and I saw, and then he texted me. I was like, see, it's going to happen again. Like he had this perfect girlfriend and he's texting me like, no, all the men are the same. And then after like 2 months, I was back here already because I just went to see my family. And then he texted me. I was like, let me talk to him. But like, I was mad. And then he started flirting and he was like, yeah, I saw you. I was like, yeah, I saw you with your girlfriend. He's like, no, she is not my girlfriend anymore. We had a break. We was not together that day already. I just saw her on the parking lot and was literally just crossed the street to get the car because our car was like parking at the gym. So it was like a coincidence. So I was like, oh, what is the odds? And then we started talking. And then I went to Brazil in December to stay like for 2 days with him. And I stayed a week. Yeah. And then we started kind of like, okay, let's see. But I was waiting on my college to see if I would stay here for good or go back to Brazil, like my documents. And then I was like, wow, that's gonna be the answer. If I'm not gonna be here, I'll be back to Brazil and then we'll get married and be happy forever. And then it was approved, so I got my documents and I told him, I'm not coming back. I really like you, but I'm not gonna move my life again because another man, because I already broke my heart before. So, but I really love you. But if you want to stay with me, come. And then here he is.
Yeah. Where did y'all get married at? Here in the U.S. or?
In Brazil. Yeah. Here we kind of like live together.
Small wedding, big wedding?
We didn't do nothing. So we're planning to do like a big wedding next year.
Yeah.
We didn't know for sure it's going to work.
She's still testing. I'm testing her.
Yeah. No, because even though like when you start to live together, it's a lot. And we are completely different, like two different persons. Like,
well, I think that's good because y'all balance each other out.
Yeah, that's what people say. It's until you live together.
Imagine like two Pamelas talking all day.
No, we are then young. No, but yeah, we have been living together for 3 years, and we are planning to do like a wedding December next year in Brazil with our families. I don't care about party, to be honest. He does. He wants. And for me, I would just travel, but
I want to carry all our like American friends to Brazil to the party. Yeah.
What are all y'all's, not all of them, but just some of the tattoos that y'all have? I see them on the arms. What do they say? And you have some, she has some. Kind of a random question. But...
Yeah.
Well, I think, show yours.
We have this one.
We have this one together. The whenever together.
Yeah, whatever together.
Because we was.
And yours says the same thing?
Yes. That's the only one that we have like this time. Because we were like, he was in Brazil, I was here. We was like almost 10 months apart because COVID hits. And then we lost our dog. And then we were like, well, whatever, we are together. So we did this like for him and for us.
Yeah, it's for our dog that dies and for us. Yeah.
This is the, forgive me if I get this wrong, is it the French Bulldog?
Yeah, but now we have another French.
We have another one.
That was the first French.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name was Toddy. and then he died, and then after like a year, and then we get another French, and now we have him as idol.
Yeah. And she has a tattoo for
Yeah, and that's his ear. Because he is like it's funny because they always say like the dog picks one honor, like one person, like when it's a couple. So Todd was him, like it was all about him. And then when we got Iron, we thought it would be like with him too, because just thought, but it was me, and it was like holy mother. And then if I say like mom in Portuguese, like mine, and I would say like mine, and then he would beat his ear like this, and he could say like 10 times, like everyone, but when he hear my voice was like this, I was like, holy mother.
He doesn't listen to me.
And it was really hard to bring him to America back there because it was like a process, but I think it was really
Like the legal documents and stuff?
yeah, because the Arabs case was so high that it wasn't allowed to bring any pets from any country, and it took me 8 months.
Where did you get them at?
In Brazil.
No, how? Just through a shop or something?
No, we spent 4 months in Brazil. Then we get him there.
Yeah, but then we didn't know like about this, and then I come back before him. Like I spent 2 months there, and then he stayed for 2 more months, and this was like right before he moved here for sure. So we kind of like stay a lot of time there to do everything. And then when I tried to come, it was allowed to bring him. And then I started to do like documentations, like the vaccines, everything. And it took literally 6 months. And then I sent a letter for CDC to approve with everything that they asked for. And it was like taking forever. It seems like really impossible. Like it was really hard to approve. So I remember but I feel like I was like, no, he's mine. Because I remember my mother-in-law, his mom, she was taking care of him, and he's really sweet. Like, he's really sweet. And she told us, she's like, I can stay with him. I mean, it's fine. I can take him for you. I was like, no, it's mine. I don't want to give it to anybody. And then I remember I was like so brokenhearted. So we was saying like to bring him from Mexico. And again, and then I remember then my father-in-law, his father, he told me this phrase that it just like touched my heart. He's like, do your possible, and when it seems impossible, because it was impossible, then let to God. And I remember this day I have this amazing and inexplicable, like I don't know, like
Unscribable.
yeah, like connection with God. That every time that I pray, I know like everyone feel that, but every time that I pray, he shows me the way. And I remember that I was on prep. It was like really hard. It was like I was 2 weeks out for the show. He was still in Brazil. The gate was closed even for Brazilians, so we didn't know if he would be here for the show or not. And everything was just like, I was tired. And then I remember like to bring him even from Mexico, it would be like over 10,000. But I was like, I don't care. We're gonna make it happen. But then what if they block him or something? And then I remember that day I prayed so hard for God, and then he showed me like on my dream, like, no, send this letter. Because everything that I was seeing like for the CDC, the letter was like, no, they're gonna deny because it was impossible. It has to be like for the army or something or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna do a letter saying like, hey, that's my dog, and I got him right after I was I found out that I had ADHD. Yes.
Yes.
So it was literally emotional support. And that's how I feel like I was really attached to him, because we know like animals feel. And it was like a really hard time when I found out this in Brazil. And then I started medication and everything. And I remember that, and I was honest on the letter. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, he is my emotional support, and that's why. And I sent like all the documentations, like my psychologically, like everything. But they could easily deny because there's not like reasons enough. And then I remember that God just told me like, hey, but and I told him, I was like, but that's impossible. It's like, yeah, but let me do it. Just do your part. So I sent everything, and after 2 months, I think the timeline like 30 days to 90, and like after 60 days, they approved, and I had literally the window of 30 days to pick up him in Brazil. And then the timeline finished, like I compete Saturday, and my flight to Brazil was Sunday, again, exactly this time. And then I have to come back with him next Friday. So I literally just compete, sleep, wake up, and went to Brazil to pick up him. And it was like 10 hours flight with that French bulldog, 4 months old. But again, I say he's perfect. He was just like, as soon as he was with me, he was fine. He didn't even like bark or anything. So I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Just under the seat on the plane, or?
Yeah. Well, when the plane goes up, he has to be like under the seat, but then they allow him to be on my lap. So yeah, that's it.
Tell me his name one more time. What is it?
Iron.
Iron.
Yes, like iron. It's because in Portuguese, if you translate, you say iron, but in English, it's like iron.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Iron Man.
Yes.
That's cool. What about anything? You want to say anything in Portuguese to people overseas? You can look into the camera there and say something. You don't have to, but
Say something.
Português.
you got a family over there?
Sim, eu tenho certeza que bastante gente vai assistir esse vídeo.
Eu acho que estão assistindo e torcendo pra gente, estão comemorando. There are a lot of people in Brazil like supporting us and cheering for us. That because for Pam, like to give like an interview and talk about her story is like a huge accomplishment. And I think the people that really support us are really, really proud of us, and especially of her. So,
Yeah, I would say that in Portuguese. Acho que, como o Neto falou, né, a maioria que acompanha a gente, né, não só nossos alunos, mas nossa família, nossos amigos, pessoal aí do Brasil, sabe da importância que é pra gente. O Neto sempre fala que ele tem essa dívida, né, com o bodybuilder de devolver pro esporte, né, tudo que o esporte fez pra ele. Então, pra gente estar aqui hoje, tendo a oportunidade de falar não só do nosso trabalho, mas, né, do esporte no geral, num país que a gente nem dominava a língua 2 anos atrás, é uma vitória muito, muito grande.
uhum.
E eu não digo nem pra mim, né, mas pro trabalho do Neto, pra tudo que a gente faz, porque é muita coisa mesmo. Às vezes a gente acaba guardando um pouco mais, principalmente em prep, que eu fico já um pouquinho mais quietinho. Eu sei que eu falo muito, mas às vezes em prep eu fico mais quietinha. Mas essa oportunidade, assim, que a gente tá tendo, essa de trazer mais sobre o que é o esporte, sobre o que é a categoria wellness, não só wellness, mas do bodybuilding em si, pra eles aqui é inexplicável. A gente sabe que muito, muito disso vem muito do apoio que a gente tem do Brasil, né?
A gente só agradece todo mundo que assistiu até aqui, né? É por vocês. É pelo esporte, é por vocês. A gente fica realmente muito feliz de... A gente fala, cada passinho, cada vitória, a gente comemora. Porque é de pouco em pouco e é de cada vitória dessa que a gente vai conseguir devolver tudo que a gente tem hoje.
Yeah, as I feel like not thinking less like about myself, but as I said, my childhood was not easy at all. Like my parents got divorced when I was 3.5 years old, and so my grandparents raised me, and I want everything like to them. They was like amazing, and my grandfather died when I was 15 years old, and my uncle kind of was like my dad, because my dad wasn't present. He was like, I don't have the best relationship with him. I have like I talk to him like normal, as well with my mom, but I feel like my uncle was like the closest person to me, and he was the person who was like, no, you can do it. And I remember when he told me, like, I feel that he was on board, because I was from a really small city, like really small city, when people were just like, okay, we're gonna go to school, to college, to the paid college. We're gonna work on stores. We're gonna get married, have 3 kids, and die. And I was like, and it's okay, but I just feel like that's not for me. I want to live. Like I wanna do like so much. I wanna learn. I wanna just live. And then he told me, like, I feel that he wasn't born just to this. So do whatever you want. Just do. And people sometimes ask me, like, you're not afraid? Like, you're not, like, scary? And I am so afraid to do everything. Like, anything that is new, I am so afraid. Like, I remember when I start to drive, I was so afraid. When I moved the city, it was so scary. When I tried like to do the test to pass on this university, it took me like 3 years. And now that I know I have the ATD, I know why it was even hard, because I couldn't study. I couldn't. It was just too hard. But then it took me 3 years and I did it. And then when I moved here, I was like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do? I don't even speak English. Like I knew zero. I knew like nothing. So no, we're going to do it. So I am afraid to do everything, like everything, but I do. Like sometimes I do like crying, like literally I do like crying. Like if people it's like something new on my workout, or if I do like something that I don't know how to do, I cry. I was like, okay, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a cry, but we were. So that's how I say, like, if coming from where I come from, I did it. And I'm not saying like about money, because again, I started to work like when I was 14 years old, so I have like zero money to come here. I had a little motorcycle and I have to sell and then work more to pay stamps, but you can do it. Like when you want to do something, you can. And I know this seems like cliche, but it is. It is cliche, but it is true. Like, okay, what I want to do. So I want to be a pro, so I'm going to work hard. If it's not this time, it's fine. Like, got already write down. So if it's not this time, it's okay. I know what I have to do, so I'm going to do it. Even though if I got like less place, what I'm going to do, I'm going to work in until my day got there. So it doesn't matter like your past, like work hard right now to change your future. So just
I think we should let you have the last word and there. It's beautifully said. It's beautifully
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having us here.
Of course.
It's really helpful to be here.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we hope that you come back soon.